It is Sunday, June 14, 2020. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Welcome to LCJ Live. Happy Flag Day. And yes, I got a haircut. First time in 8 weeks. I got a haircut. I feel great. Man, I do. And hope you're all doing well out there as well. Maybe you got a haircut too. I've got Woody, Buzz, and Lotso with me because Toy Story 3 is celebrating 10 years this Thursday, June 18th, and this Wednesday at 8 p.m. on ABC. ABC is celebrating that by airing Toy Story 3, which they've aired several times before, but they are doing it to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Pixar double Oscar winner, because remember, Toy Story 3 not only won Best Animated Feature, it also won Best Original Song for We Belong Together by Randy Newman. So Toy Story 3 with 2 Academy Awards, and it will be airing for its 10th anniversary on Wednesday. Send in your questions, your comments. Did you see Artemis Fowl, King of Staten Island, Da 5 Bloods? I've seen all 3 of those. Plus your thoughts on Tenet getting delayed by 2 weeks and Wonder Woman getting delayed by nearly 2 months. Let me know your thoughts. What's up, Josh Tisdale 1? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. Here's the thing about Tenet. So right now it's going to come out July 31. Could that change at any moment, any day leading up to it? Absolutely. Nothing is set in stone. But what these studios should realize and hopefully understand, we've got the Russell Crowe movie now, Unhinged, coming out July 10 as of this moment, is that the be all and end all should not be Tenet. You know, if Warner Brothers isn't ready to put Tenet out globally, others should step in. If Tenet keeps getting delayed, others should step in, move up, keep their release dates. Whether it's Disney with Mulan on July 24, SpongeBob right now August 7, Bill and Ted August 14. You know, hopefully all of these movies come out. Obviously, we'd like all these movies to come out in theaters by the end of the summer. But you know, hopefully the theaters will be open as well, and everything is safe, and everything is okay, and it's all right to go back to the indoor movie theaters. But I hope the studios don't have to keep pushing all the movies back just because Tenet keeps being pushed back. I just hope we don't get to that point. Everything is so up in the air, Josh Tisdale 1, but you got to be optimistic. I mean, I just put up a new piece at lights-camera-jackson.com with all your up-to-date summer movie calendar. And when you look at what's coming out in theaters, as well as what's coming out on digital platforms like Greyhound on Apple TV Plus and The Old Guard with Charlize Theron on Netflix, and several comedies and some family films and various things on Disney Plus and VOD and Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime Video, there's a lot to look forward to in the rest of the summer movie season. And I think technically the summer movie season officially kicked off on Friday with the triple header of King of Staten Island, Artemis Fowl, and Da 5 Bloods. Now, my favorite movie that actually came out on Friday in virtual cinemas is an animated film called Morona's Fantastic Tale, which is one of the best movies of the year so far. The best animated film, dazzling, thought-provoking, really cool dog story. As far as these other 3 movies are concerned, if I had to rank the other 3 movies, I don't love any of them, but I would have to put Da 5 Bloods at number 1. Now, again, I don't love this movie, but I understand what Spike Lee was going for with Da 5 Bloods. Have you seen Da 5 Bloods? Comment here right now. Not going to do any spoilers on any of the movies, but let me give you my thoughts. Delroy Lindo getting a lot of Oscar buzz for his performance. It is a showy performance. Could we still be talking about it 6 months from now? I don't know. But right now, because again, diehard movie fans with the fewer number of big movies per se don't have as much to latch onto at this moment. They're going to latch onto the Delroy Lindo performance. I understand that. Well-intentioned movie, timely movie, but Spike Lee juggles way too much into 5 Bloods. There is way too much going on. It is too long. It is too predictable in places, which is unfortunate. It doesn't have nearly the power or the impact that it should have. Again, that's my take on it. I know people who love it. I know people who are mixed on it too. But that's my take on Da 5 Bloods. Now, what would I put at number 2 is a film I really do not like, but is still number 2, and that is King of Staten Island. Pete Davidson, Bill Burr, Marissa Tomei, Judd Apatow. I don't buy into about 97% of this movie. The only thing I believe is the performance from Maud Apatow, Judd Apatow's real-life daughter, who plays Claire, the younger sister to Pete Davidson's character, Scott. She gives a believable performance. She does. Rest of this movie, so many goofy scenes. Third act doesn't work. None of this movie works. It's unbelievable. It's unethical. It's uncomfortable. All of those things. Yeah. I don't buy into a lot of The King of Staten Island. But you want to talk about a disastrous film? You want to talk about a complete, flat-out, what the heck happened? Then let's get into Artemis Fowl. When I saw that this movie was only going to be 95 minutes, I said to myself, gee, that's rather short for a film like this. Usually these sci-fi fantasy based on books films are hour 45, hour 50, and so on. 95 minutes? Take away the credits, it's 90 minutes? Whoa, that is short. The way this movie is structured, I don't think was the original intention. Does not feel right to me, with Josh Gad sort of acting as narrator. The visual effects, not good. The performances, ooh. And for some reason, Judi Dench gets the most screen time, even though she does not play Artemis Fowl. In fact, the kid who plays Artemis Fowl doesn't get a lot of screen time. And then Colin Farrell plays his dad. You got Josh Gad trying to save things, but it does not work. Kenneth Branagh, who did a great Cinderella for Disney 5 years ago, there were scenes cut out. Hong Chow was supposed to be in Artemis Fowl. If you go back and watch the first teaser trailer for the movie, which came out at the end of 2018, you will see Hong Chow's character had a lot of makeup, looked like an older character, transform into herself in this kind of flowery white dress in midair. And you see Artemis Fowl, the kid, and his bodyguard looking at her in kind of in amazement. That scene is not in the movie. Hong Chow is not credited in the movie, so clearly there were subplots, other storylines, other things going on that were originally in this but had to be cut, wanted to be cut, whatever the decision is. The movie feels rushed, the movie feels choppy, and clearly there were issues. And that's why Disney not only delayed the film's release by about a year the first time, but then stuck it on Disney Plus because it just didn't end up being that good. Josh Tisdale, what's up, Dash Upton and Martin Scouto? Thanks for being here on LCJ Live. Josh Tisdale, as a film student, it worries me, especially about independent theaters. How are they going to cope with all of this? Yeah, it just depends on when the theaters can open up. Hopefully, more movie theaters will start opening up around the country. More multiplexes will start opening up. But for now, the drive-ins are doing really well. The drive-ins are even going to have a Garth Brooks concert on Saturday, June 27th. Tickets are like $100 a car. Ticketmaster's putting them on sale. I guess the theater locations are being announced tomorrow. Ticketmaster putting the tickets on sale on Friday of this week, and then it's Saturday the 27th. I've always thought, what if studios decided to do a movie screening, an advanced preview screening at a drive-in? Obviously, you're thinking about the weather in this circumstance, but what if that happened? What if you got to print out your passes from GoFobo or advanced screenings, and your screening of a big movie during the week before it opened was at a drive-in theater? I've always wondered about that, and now we're sort of heading down that territory a little bit here with Ticketmaster doing this Garth Brooks concert. I'm surprised Warner Brothers delayed Wonder Woman 1984 as far as they did past the August 14th original date. I don't know if they wanted the two films competing against each other so close to each other. Again, I think all rules are getting thrown out the window pretty soon, and studios just got to understand, hey, we got to start putting back-to-back blockbusters up against each other again. But I'm surprised they went all the way to October. I know A Quiet Place Part 2 is Labor Day weekend. They could have gone the middle of September. I'm a little surprised at how far Wonder Woman went. All these other ones, the Tom Hanks sci-fi movie BIOS going to 2021, Matrix getting delayed, and others getting delayed and pushed off. If you look past, at this point, if you look past Christmas, right now, as far as movie release dates, it's just, you can't. Because everything's going to change. Right now we've got No Time to Die, which has actually moved up 5 days to November 20, which is an interesting move. That could get changed again. But if you're thinking into 2021 right now, you can't. You just can't. You just have to focus on the here and now and the upcoming, the direct upcoming. You can't go that far out, or else your mind's gonna go crazy because there's so much going on. Do you think AMC and Universal will patch things up? Says Randall1211. I think they already have started to patch things up. I think those, again, in the heat of the moment, people say things, people put out statements, and then things die down after about 48 hours. And that's, I think, exactly what happened here. Though the interesting thing with Universal is that King of Staten Island was supposed to play in about 100 drive-in theaters around the country. Wednesday, Universal lets all the drive-ins know, hey, sorry, we made a technical error, whatever the heck that means, and we can't give you the movie to go to drive-ins. It's only going to VOD. Now, one of the drive-ins I do work for, the Malta Drive-In, was one of the drive-ins that was supposed to show King of Staten Island. They had to scramble to get another movie on Wednesday to start showing on Friday night. Universal didn't even offer them a consolation film to show in its place, which I think is a really bad move. They could have said, hey, we'll give you the high note, Focus Features, we'll give you that. Or we'll give you a movie you haven't shown yet, we'll give you Doolittle, we'll give you something else from the studio, something to show. No, didn't happen, which I think is terrible. I really do. You promise them something and then you don't deliver and you have to back out after. No. And I don't believe that it was a technical error. I really don't. I think somehow the studios were like, listen, we know drive-ins are really popular right now, but we want all our money. We want everybody paying $20. We don't want any of this drive-in money, which is ridiculous. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. So, you know, Universal doing some good things and you doing some poor things with what's going on. They got a horror film coming out this week on VOD called You Should Have Left. Now, it's got Kevin Bacon and Amanda Seyfried. Now, if that film was in drive-in theaters, it'd do really well. It's a horror movie. I don't think as of this moment Universal wants to put it in drive-ins. Go down that path again, right away. But it would be a hit because look at what The Wretched has done for drive-ins. Huge numbers for IFC and The Wretched. But yeah, so it's a little complicated. It shouldn't be this complicated, though. The drive-ins are your friends. That's what you should look at them as. The drive-ins are your friends. I have seen some movies that open up this coming week, one of them being 7500. Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays an airline pilot thriller movie. I'm going to have my rapid review of that coming up for you coming this week, couple days. Also, I've seen 2 Minutes of Fame. It's a new comedy with Jay Farrow, Keke Palmer, Cat Williams. You want my review of that? Go to lights-camera-jackson.com. It comes out on DVD and VOD on Tuesday. Also, 40 Years of Rocky. Have you checked that out yet? It's on iTunes right now. It's only $2.99. Half-hour documentary short narrated by Sylvester Stallone. He's commenting on the making of Rocky from 1976. It is fantastic. Check that out. What else have I seen? Watched a film last night, documentary, called My Darling Vivian. This is about Johnny Cash's first wife. And you may not know a lot about Johnny Cash's first wife. This is one of the best films of the year. This may be one of my, if not my favorite documentary of the year so far, because the way they present her story, it's just interviews with the four daughters, and the way they tell her life story and where it went and how Johnny was involved and all of that is really something. It's excellent. It is eye-opening. It is, you feel the emotional tug and the emotional pull of it by the end. Really impressed by this film, My Darling Vivian. I'll have more of my thoughts on it this week. LCJ, the King of Albany, New York. Thank you, Shane Mendez. What's up? DJ Richopo, have you seen Walk the Line? Actually, I have not seen Walk the Line, but there are comments made by the daughters in this movie who don't like Walk the Line for various reasons, and now I'm questioning whether I want to experience Walk the Line because of what they talk about and how they portray Johnny Cash's first wife in Walk the Line. Some negative reactions to that in this movie, My Darling Vivian. But yeah, I know Walk the Line won Reese Witherspoon an Academy Award for playing June Carter. Some interesting things about June Carter they explore in this documentary. My Darling Vivian, virtual cinemas this Friday. And then a lot coming on the 26th. Jungle Beat the Movie for families, which is fun. New LCJ Q&A podcast episode coming at you later tonight and into tomorrow with the director of Jungle Beat the Movie, Brent Dawes. He wrote and created this TV series back in 2003, something like that. And now it's a feature-length movie, and now it's going to be on VOD. It is G-rated, it is safe, but it is also, you learn something. And it's cool, nice-looking CG animals. Brent Dawes, new LCJ Q&A coming at you very soon. Also this Tuesday, new episode of Cinema Stories, the Cinema Stories podcast. My good friend and colleague Jim Dixon will be on this week. We'll talk about the in-theater movie experience, because right now, until movie theaters are back up and running, indoor theaters, I'm going to be having some of my film critic colleagues on to talk about in-theater movie experiences, some classic movies, classic movie theater experiences, and the present state of the theater experience and the future, predicting the future of the movie-going experience. What is it going to look like? New episode 2 of Cinema Stories coming at you on Tuesday. If you want to catch up on episode 1 with Jeffrey K. Howard, the Vegas film critic, as my guest, go to lcj.podbean.com. So a lot coming on the 26th. You got Jungle Beat the movie. You got Eurovision, Will Ferrell, Rachel McAdams on Netflix. You got Irresistible, the Jon Stewart movie with Steve Carell and Rose Byrne. My Spy, finally coming out now on Amazon Prime Video on the 26th. Also on the 26th is the Daytime Emmy Awards at 8 p.m. on CBS. Sunday the 28th, we've got the first half of 2020 LCJ Movie Awards, which will be announced at 7 p.m. And at 10 p.m., the Match Game episode I attended on June 12, 2019, will finally air at 10 o'clock on ABC on the 28th. I am looking forward to seeing how that turns out. So, a lot going on in the world of entertainment and movies and television. All kinds of things happening. So, look for more of my reviews, new LCJ Q&A episode, new Cinema Stories episode. A lot happening this week. So, stay tuned to my social media. That's Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, and that website is lights-camera-jackson.com. Next Sunday is Father's Day. Can you believe it? Wow. We are almost halfway through June already. Can you believe that? By the time tomorrow night ends, midnight into Tuesday, we will be halfway through June. I think time's going by a little faster. I hope it is for you as well. If you stay busy and you stay positive and you stay healthy, hey, time can fly. Before you know it, it'll be Independence Day and a lot happening with the summer movie season. I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Thank you for watching this new episode of LCJ Live. Enjoy Toy Story 3 on Wednesday. Celebrate the 10th anniversary on ABC. I wrote, very quickly before we go, I wrote on Twitter the other day my take on the 4 Toy Story movies. The first Toy Story movie was groundbreaking. It changed cinema forever. And it's a good film. Not one of my all-time favorites. In fact, it's one of my least favorite Pixar movies, just in terms of impact. But again, a groundbreaking film. I think Toy Story 2 is the most fun. I think Toy Story 3 has the strongest third act. And Toy Story 4 is the most mature. I think that's really how you got to look at them. Which one is my favorite? Maybe 2, but again, I look at all 4 and I say these are what each of these were able to do very successfully in their own ways. So that's how I see the 4 Toy Story movies. All right, I'm Lights Camera Jackson. Thank you for watching LCJ Live. I will see you next Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern on Father's Day for another new episode. Have a good week, everybody. And if you need a haircut, get a haircut because it feels great. Bye-bye.